Um, let's see. I think I got everything. No, I don't. You're supposed to be on. Yeah, there we go. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you. Probably until about 5 o'clock. Definitely five at the latest. I got somewhere to be at 5:30. Um, but how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I've had a pretty good day today. I've had a pretty good day today. A little turbulence. But other than that, I've had a good day today. Um, as usual, come on in. You say hi to me. I'll say hi to you. You tell me where you checking me out from. I'll read it and I'll appreciate you. That's fair. That's a fair trade-off. Let me see. Let me see. Is that? Come on. Come on. Scroll. There we go. Trying to get to the first one. Who, of course, we know who the first one was. Ron. I mean, Robert. Ron. Robert. Robert Willis, good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate you. Oh, close that. Close that. I appreciate you. Miss Pittsburgh, good afternoon. Thank you for checking us out. I appreciate you. Anthony. Anthony, representing the Wood. I appreciate you. Got David in the house. Good afternoon, David. Good afternoon, representing Westchester. Thank you for checking out the show. Logic Slayer. Good afternoon. Got David. David, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I already said David. Preston. Good afternoon. He's pulling into Avondale, so you represent Avondale. All right. Phyllis in the house. Good afternoon, Phyllis. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate you, Miss Pittsburgh. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yo Underwood. Good afternoon. Yeah, somebody was trying to bully somebody, and we can't allow that to happen. I want to talk a little bit about bullying, but let me get through the hellos. I want to talk a little bit about bullying and the way that people respond to people. But that's in a little bit. Diane, good afternoon. Diane is representing Gulf Manor. Diane, I appreciate you. Crystal in the house. Crystal's representing Fairmount. Good afternoon, Crystal. We got Tria in the house. Tria in the house representing Columbia Township. Good afternoon, Tria. Scott, good afternoon. Scott says he's driving around Cincinnati. Okay, I'm going to just let you drive around Cincinnati then. You don't have to represent any particular area. But you're shortchanging your area. They have no representation now. Brent, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon, Brent. Let me see. Jerika, good afternoon. Mi familia. You never did tell me why you always speak in German when you come in here. We got Regina in the house, representing Madisonville. Good afternoon, Regina. I appreciate you being here. Erica, representing Reading. Good afternoon. Dwayne in the house, representing Mount Airy. Good afternoon, Dwayne. Darren. Good afternoon, Darren. I appreciate you checking us out. Let me see. Got Daryl in the house. Good afternoon. He's representing Forest Park. Angela in the house. Salutations to you as well. I know you'll be doing the marathon. Did you run the marathon? Did you participate in all of that? Nonsense. It's nonsense because I don't ever see myself running no marathon. Like, oh, let me just run around in a circle for 4 hours. But also I'm fat, so that plays a part. Nick, good afternoon. He's representing Blue Ash. Good afternoon. We got Mike in the house representing Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Crystal says she's having an excellent day. You can't beat that. Chelsea's in the house. Greetings, Chelsea. Chelsea did it right. Greetings, your highness. That's the way you're supposed to do it. In case y'all didn't know. King, your highness, any of that stuff is the right way to do it. Y'all just refuse to act right. Jason, good afternoon. Okay, he's representing the whole planet. He's representing the whole planet. Let's see. Andrea in the house, representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Darren in the house, representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. We got LaDonna. LaDonna, representing East Price Hill. Good afternoon. Let's see. Oh, you was late. You was late. I don't know what to tell you. See, what I try to do is I go live and I try to wait until there's, usually about 10 people. Once I see about 10 people in there, then boom, I hit the intro music, let everybody know. And today, whatever reason y'all was there. I expected a lot of y'all was going to still be checking out Wyatt because he was on. Regina, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ron in the house. Good afternoon, Ron. Good afternoon. Look, Ron, I appreciate you and I appreciate your calls. No matter what anybody say, man. Like I think you whooped on me yesterday. I had to sit back and think on it. Like Ron got me yesterday. I had to be better when Ron called. So, yeah, I appreciate your calls, but you know that. Veronica, good afternoon. Veronica's representing College Hill. Good afternoon, Veronica. Lamont, great day, powerful, royal A kicker. Ron is representing Westwood. I don't know what that means. Sean in the house. Thank you for checking out the show. Sean in the house. Good afternoon, Sean. I appreciate you. Let me see. Is that it? That's Esteban representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Dina Johnson in the house. Now somebody, why did you say her first and last name? I don't know. But good afternoon, Dina. Representing Walnut Hills. I appreciate you. We got Kimberly in the house. Good afternoon, family. I'm back from beautiful Cancun, Mexico. All right. Representing Bond Hill. All right. Cancun, Mexico. Have I been to Cancun? I don't think I've ever been to Cancun. I was somewhere in Mexico. I don't even remember where. It's not all that important. It's Mexico. We American. We don't like Mexicans. Let me see. I think that's about it. Oh, wait a minute. I see DeWanda in the house. Good afternoon, DeWanda. Good afternoon. Phil, I already said Phyllis. Jacqueline in the house. I'm back again from Evanston. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. We got Twin in the house. Repping Kroger. All right. Got to do what you got to do, man. Got to do what you got to do. Angela says she did not run the marathon this year. Okay. Sometimes you need a rest. Vernon says, this is the earliest I've ever tuned into Emanuel show. No particular reason, though. Well, that's all right. You don't really miss nothing the first however many minutes. You don't really miss nothing. Just me saying hello to people, which is the best part of the show to me. But other people say, you could skip over that. But I like this part of the show. I like speaking to the people, interacting with the people. I like this part of the show. Oh, let's see. Yo Underwood says there should be an age limit on bullying. I agree. Bonita in the house, representing Roselawn. All right. DeAndre in the house. He says, hola, Senor, E-Man. Hola to you. Hola to you too. Blade in the house says, what up, Messy Jesse? I'm not even sure what he's referring to. Uh, please explain what happened with you and Lincoln at the end of the show. I might get into it. We'll see. Nikki in the house. Good afternoon, Nikki. Got Carolyn in the house. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Carolyn's representing East Walnut Hills. Nat Tunner, representing Madville. Can't beat that. Dante in the house representing Amelia, Trump country. Dante voting for Trump. All right. Let me see. Oh, Scott trying to change who he representing. Now, bro, you representing people driving around. That's who you representing. They say my name. Shahara in the house. Good afternoon, Shahara. Representing Mason today. Can't beat that. And Kimberly said the resort over there was beautiful. All right. Crystal Smith. Good afternoon to you as well. Maria Smith. No relation. They spell differently. Good afternoon. Maria is representing North College Hill. Is that it? I think that's it. Let me scroll. Yeah, that's it. All right. Well, good afternoon to everyone. Hold on, let me put the chat up. Nobody reminded me about the chat. I do believe that I have allergies because I've been sneezing like crazy today, and I ran out of my prescription, so I got to go. I guess get some Claritin or something. Okay, I'm sorry. We got Peachy representing Sharonville. And I'm not speaking to you. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm not speaking to you. So if I pause and start sneezing, y'all forgive me. Up until now, I did not think that I had allergies, but apparently I do. All right. Some of y'all are actually asking about kind of just nonsense to happen. And it really is just nonsense. But here's what I'm going to say to y'all. People shouldn't pick with people if they don't want to get picked with back. Don't pick with people if you don't want people to pick with you. Period. So, on the Lincoln Ware show, my brother called in. And, he had some comments. And look, you don't have to believe him. So I got to sneeze, y'all. I'm trying to talk through it. But y'all know how it is when you got to sneeze and it won't come. I'm in that position right now, so y'all forgive me. My brother called in. You don't have to agree with my brother. You don't. Some stuff I don't agree with that he said. You don't have to agree with him. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with disagreeing with him. But you don't have to, attack his integrity about something that he wasn't even talking about. You don't have to do that. So, sometimes I'd be in that mood. And if you want to attack people, I can attack you. In particular, you're going to attack my brother. And then somehow I got brought into it. I know some of them was jokes or whatever, but still, he don't live in Toledo. He live in Cincinnati. He might have brought his family down, or maybe he did. Why would you do that? So I remembered a rumor that I heard years ago, and I just asked a question about it. So if you don't want people attacking your integrity, don't attack other people's integrity. Come on, y'all, this stuff can't be that hard. It really can't be that hard. And you can say what you want to say. That's fine. But people, I see it too much. I'm not just talking about Lincoln. I see it too much with people. People don't mind attacking people. Like you can't nowadays you almost can't have a conversation with people where y'all ain't walking step by step. You almost can't have that a conversation without somebody getting mad because you disagree about a little point and attacking you. The or you're you know what I'm saying, you just say for example doing a little podcast or whatever, and people just decide, I don't agree with what this guy's saying. I don't like the way this guy looked. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And they just start attacking you. And I think people really believe you're just supposed to sit there and get attacked. And it's wrong if you defend yourself or if you counterattack. But I would think that the best thing to do is just stop attacking. Being mean is not necessarily the best thing. You don't have to be mean. Now, okay, some of y'all, okay, sure, I've been known to be mean from time to time. I'm not saying that's all right. I'm not saying that's all right. But from time to time, it's okay to not be mean to people. But so he said what he said. I said what I said. And for whatever reason, what I said really upset him. And I can't for the life of me understand why. I can't. For the life of me, I can't understand why. But it did. And my guess is he's trying to get me banned, blocked on the site. It won't matter. It won't matter. I have a shadow account that I use. And I'm actually, when I'm watching his show, I'm listening on my phone because I typically have my little Bluetooth in. But I'm watching the comments on a different account that no one has blocked. So I can see everything that everybody says. So even if I got blocked, I could still watch the show. And theoretically, I could still comment. Just nobody would know it was me, which would take some of the fun out of it. But still be the same. Let me see. Don't be speaking in riddles, Dinga. What did you say and what did he say? Nate had called in and said all the stuff that he said. And then he starts saying, Nate don't even live in Toledo. He live in Cincinnati. Basically, he left his family in Toledo and he live in Cincinnati. And I'm like, why would you throw that out there? Why would you? And it's not the first time. He's done it before. I'm like, okay. So I remember when I told y'all when Black Lion got banned for life the first time, I think, at Union Terminal. Lincoln was doing a broadcast and Black Lion had said something about Lincoln got his cousin's girlfriend pregnant. I don't necessarily believe this to be true, but that was what Black Lion had said. And I don't know why I remembered that. And it came to my mind, and I just, since you questioning people's integrity, I wonder if Nate still live in Toledo. I wonder if he done moved to Cincinnati. Did he bring his family with him, or did he leave his family, and all of that kind of stuff, right? So I just said, I wonder if Lincoln is still having sex with his cousin's girlfriend. We wondering. You know what I'm saying? We wondering nonsense out aloud, questioning people's integrity and honesty and all that kind of stuff. Let's do it. We can wonder. That's it. And he didn't like that. He didn't like it. Not one bit. And he did actually call me. He did. Because he was telling Nate, tell your brother. I just started, you tell me. I'm not scared of you. And he did. He called me. And, he cussed me out. I don't care about that. And then I said to him, wait a minute. Wasn't you attacking and questioning people's integrity? But it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Like, no, it wasn't me. It was my brother. Well, he grown. So, of course, I had to throw back at him. How many times have you called me saying things to me to protect your adult family members? If you can protect your adult family members, I can protect mine. But, of course, I wanted to point out to him the simple, how about you just don't attack people? How about I don't believe what Nate had to say? I don't believe that's true. How about that? He had to leave his family and move here and living by, he didn't say that part, somebody else said that. He lived in Emanuel's spare bedroom. Come on, this is childish. It's childish. So that was it. So he cussed me out. I said what I said. He said what he said. He cussed me out some more. And then I agreed that I will not say anything about him that's not true. And I admitted that I don't know that to be true. Of course, he said, well, what am I saying? Is Emanuel cheating on his wife? What if I said, is Emanuel cheating on his wife? And I'm like, that wouldn't bother me one bit, because I'm not. So what? Say it. Say it. Go ahead. Say it. Say it tomorrow. Go ahead. Say it. Because if you say it, I'm going to say something in response. It's going to be something silly and, childish. Like, yeah, I'm cheating on my wife with your wife. This is something childish. You're not sex with my wife. You're not having sex with my wife. Don't you be saying that you having sex with my wife. And it's gonna it's just silliness. How about we all be mature? You don't have to attack people. I don't have to attack people. Everybody can just be happy. That's all I want. For everybody to be happy. So that's it. That's the whole story. He cussed me out. I explained what happened and why it happened. He tried to justify it. I shot those arguments down. And that's it. That's the whole story. And, eventually he hung up the phone. Bye. And he hung up. He was still mad. He didn't get no satisfaction. I'll be honest. I started to not answer the phone because he did tell me not to ever speak to him again, ever in life. So I started to not answer the phone. And then when he's wondering why I didn't answer, I said, well, you did tell me not to ever speak to you again in life. So that's it. That's the whole story. It's not as deep or, as intricate or, as volatile or as anything as, maybe somebody might have wanted it to be. It's not. And I actually told him, because this is funny, because y'all know me, I be trying to be honest with people. I told him, I said, Lincoln, because he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, something about me wanting to do something to him or something. I told him, I said, Lincoln, I don't have no problem with you. You all right with me? You got problems with me, but I don't have no problems with you. If you don't have no problems with me, then I would hate to see how you would act if you did have problems with me. I'm like, I probably just would ignore you all the way. Because I'm not out here trying to, I'm 50, almost 54 years old. I'm not trying to be out in the streets fighting. I know people want to see that. There are some people who would love to see two grown black men get into a physical altercation. It's not gonna happen. Not with me. Only way is if I'm defending myself. That's it. That's it. Um, y'all know I like stuff like this. Move on. You've been fired. Let it grow. Disgruntled B word. I have an idea who that might be. The bald bull. I have an idea who that might be, but so what? Um, it's nothing. It's nothing. I got no beef with the guy. He got beef with me, and it is what it is. But here's what always bothers me, and I get it. People follow people. Like people love that man. People love that man. And I think he's endeared himself to people, and so people do that. But you ever heard the thing about never meet your heroes? The reason people say never meet your heroes is because you find out that your heroes actually have flaws like everybody else. And you look at somebody and you love them and you just can't believe that they got flaws. I can't believe that my hero would say that. I can't believe that my hero would do that. I can't believe that my hero this and I can't believe that my hero that. Look, y'all, we people. We all got flaws. Mine a little less than other. But we all got flaws. So, hey, but y'all sit and watch people attack people. And then when people defend themselves, y'all get mad at the people defending themselves and never mad at the people who initiated the attacking. I don't know that I will ever understand that. I don't know that I will ever understand that. I don't. Y'all know nothing else about me. I am one of those people who just you leave me alone, I leave you alone. And when I say leave you alone, like I'm gonna still do what I do. Like I'm gonna. If me and Wyatt fell out tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm still watching Wyatt's show because I like the show. So just because we fall out, don't mean I stop liking what I like. So, it ain't that big of a deal. But why can't people just be nice to people? Just period. Just be nice to people. Be nice to people. But that's it. That's the whole story. That's the whole story. And y'all keep talking about I got problems with people. I don't have I told y'all who I have problems with yesterday. I told y'all. That's still the same. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. All right. What else we got going? Is that it? Is that good enough for everybody? Is that good enough for everybody? I just want to be I just want to be happy. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I got a call coming in. Let me get to that screen. CK.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
Doing good.
Man, it's a good ass show, man. I was listening to you talk about your brother on there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Cause man, we were so young when he got fired from the buzz that we thought when you were still working up there, you wasn't loyal. We didn't understand business because you was a public figure. You see what I mean? So, but it ain't no different that y'all if you working at cons that he got fired. You know what I mean? But we looking at it like, damn, because
Well,
we
I
look
don't,
like he got
but I don't know that
unjustly.
I don't know that I ever told the story about when he got fired. But just one little detail, I was gonna quit. I was gonna
Okay,
quit.
okay.
I wasn't necessarily gonna quit just because he got fired. I was gonna quit because of the way that they treated me when he got fired. If that make any sense. Well, it probably
But
don't make
negative,
as much sense because you would have to know all have been there and known all the details. But
you was
I,
getting negative feedback.
what was that?
They was giving you negative feedback at the job.
No, it was when they fired him. Basically, they told everybody else in the building, but they didn't tell me. And so people was acting kind of funny towards me, and I didn't know why. And then they called me later and told me. And the one thing that made me almost quit was they was like, "Well, we didn't tell you because we didn't want you to. We didn't know how you were gonna react and maybe tear the place up." And I'm like,
Damn.
how little regard do you have for me as a human that you would think, and I'm like, to me that was just disrespectful. And so yeah, I was gonna quit. And then he the one, Nate, my brother, the one who said, no, 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 don't quit. Don't quit. He
He
said
knew the vision.
it's
He seen the vision
business
because he knew.
and you do
Yep.
what you do, and that's got nothing to do with that. You let that be that, and you do what you do. And so that's the reason why I didn't quit. But I was gonna leave again. Not if they would have just came and I guess told me when they told everybody else like, yeah, we had to let Nate go. I'd have been like, oh man, and I probably would have called him like, what happened. But I wasn't gonna go in there and tear stuff up. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have felt disrespected.
Yeah, you don't have a violent nature. Why do you automatically assume I'm a monkey ape? I see why you was appalled.
Yes,
But
it was appalling.
but has outsiders outside the family ever tried to turn you against your brother?
Yeah, yeah.
That happened. That only happened when y'all went because y'all went public, right?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like because y'all being talk show hosts, that's when people tried to turn you against him
No,
over
just
his public.
people do that. People try to turn people against people. And because he is, a polarizing figure, and apparently so am I, because we are polarizing figures, I find a lot of times people ain't happy enough that they don't agree with you or that they don't like you. They want everybody else to not like you. And so instead of just I don't like your brother. Yeah, there are people who he did this and he did that, and they want you to be against him. And it don't even necessarily have to be that. Like it can be your friend, and one of your other friends fall out. Well, they want you to pick a side.
Right,
I
right.
don't like him, so you can't like him. I just yeah, people do that.
How am I gonna turn you against your day one? That's literally day one. Your siblings.
People do it. People try.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna be successful unless they already got a riff.
Right.
You're
Right.
not gonna be successful if you got a riff. How you gonna turn Nate against Emmanuel? Man, please. You know what I mean? That's like turning Jake against Logan. It ain't gonna happen.
I don't know
Same
who
thing, right?
I don't know who Jake and
Jake,
Logan are.
Jake and Logan Paul.
Oh,
You never heard of them?
no. I mean, yes, I have,
They,
but I didn't know who you were talking about.
yeah, I mean, you not turning siblings against each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
They gotta have internal beef. Then you might could stir up some stuff. But I just wanted to tell you, man, that he he helped you make the right decision because you was about to make the wrong decision. Because you
Maybe.
know your job options. Look where you was about to go work then after you left there.
Well, I don't know what I would have
Right.
done, but I would have done something.
The warehouse? You ain't like the warehouse.
I didn't mind the warehouse. I mean, I didn't like the code, but I would have went somewhere else. I'd
You
found
need to be
something.
public.
I just the same thing that I said at the warehouse. I was looking for a job when I found this one. It's I'm gonna work somewhere
Yeah.
somehow.
You gonna
I'm
get that
gonna
shit.
work. I'm gonna eat.
Yeah. And the bad thing about us now, we don't have them pensions. Remember our parents, they had the pensions, so they was good getting 5,000 a month. See, we ain't got pensions, so we got to work to the rest of our lives, don't we? We can't even retire.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Oh, you had they had pensions up at the bus.
yeah, actually, well, pensions. No, but they had like 401k and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they get you with that. All right. Give me that pension, man. I just want to holler at you, man. Hey, respect to the family, man.
All right. I
Yes,
appreciate your
sir.
call. All right. The bald bull is mad. Oh, that's funny. Well, I got more assholing to do, so just stay tuned. um, um, what was I about to move on to? I was about to move on to something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, if y'all recall yesterday, I was talking about the people doing the dance and everything, and y'all didn't believe me. But Brent went and found a TikTok that showed the people doing the dance that I was talking about. I keep telling y'all, I don't lie. I don't lie. At best, I'll embellish just a little um for comedy's sake. Uh what platform is the ball board on? YouTube. That's a YouTube account. I hope the ball will stay around and keep making comments in all caps. That makes them very much important. um, what else is going on? Uh, Dina says, please play the video. I don't have it pulled up here to where I can play it, but if you go to, I think you have to be a member of the group of Friends of the Buzz of Cincinnati. Then you can see it. But yeah, I can't believe y'all thought I was lying. Like y'all genuinely did not believe me. Y'all genuinely did not believe me. Which is oh, that's Lincoln. I don't know. I don't know if it is or if it ain't. I don't know if that's Lincoln or not, but I like it. um, but no, I was talking about it is actually not what I was gonna get. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know who Baldy Bull is now. That's Zoe Wesson. Could easily be. Could easily be. But yeah, nah, when he got fired, you know, okay, that's pretty much the story. And I was sure enough gonna leave. I was sure enough gonna leave. But, you know, I didn't. And the other day when Raven was talking about Nepo babies, as they call them, I guess. Hey, I think it's a bad thing to function. Like, if you, again, I'm going to use me. You know why I got hired at the bus? because I knew Nate and they needed somebody. If it wasn't for Nate, I wasn't qualified to work there. I mean, I was clearly qualified, but from any other standpoint, I wasn't qualified. But they needed somebody, and Nate called me like, "Hey, do you know how to do this?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "I think you could do it. Just come and check it out." And I had just got fired from my other job. And so I went over there, and when I looked at it, I was like, "Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it." So it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I would have never been in that position if it wasn't for who I knew. So I don't understand people who attain a certain level of access based on who they know, who try to pretend like that didn't have anything to do with their level of success. I, for me, what used to always get me, I remember hearing Gerald Levert in a interview, and he was saying, people think I got here because my dad is, what's his name? Eddie Levert. But that didn't do anything for me. I didn't get here because Eddie Levert, I worked my A off to get here and blah, blah, blah. And that always bothers me when people do things like that. Like, stop it. Your daddy was Eddie Levert. That means you had access to the music business, and access that just some dude not named Gerald Levert didn't have. You knew people who you could give demo tapes to. You knew studios and producers and writers, and if not, you knew the business because your daddy was Eddie Levert. You knew the grind. You knew what to look for. Why act like you received basically no benefit from your daddy being Eddie Levert? You clearly did. And it always bothered me when people pretend like they don't. Always bothers me. That's why I say, look, again, I would not have even known they were hiring. I didn't know nothing about radio. I didn't want to be in radio, never thought about being in radio. It was nowhere on my radar. And out of nowhere, my brother calls me and says, "Hey, can you do this?" Look, I stayed there, I think as long as I did, because I was, decent. Because I was decent. I attained whatever level of whatever you want to call it because I was decent. I was able to learn and adapt and grow. But I got my foot and my body and my mind in the door. I got the job because of who I knew. In that case, it happened to me, my brother. And I think it would be doing a disservice to. I have other people who are out there. I have other people who are out there, and they, I run into people, and they want to know, oh, how can I get into radio? Oh, how can I get into this? And how can I do that? And I'll be like, to be completely honest, I don't know. I don't know. How did you get into it? I knew somebody. That's how. I knew somebody. That's how I got into it. I didn't grind and hustle like other people have to grind and hustle to get my foot in the door. And when people act like that's not a real thing, that's a real thing. I run into people right now who been grinding and hustling for 10 or so years. Like, oh, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Oh, if I could just get an interview. Oh, if I could just this. Oh, if I could send them my tape. Oh, if I could this. And they've been hustling and grinding hard. And I'd be like, man, I was blessed because I didn't have to do none of that. I didn't have to do none of that. I just picked up the phone and said, I'll come and check it out. That was it. So yeah, I think it would be doing a disservice to all of them people who hustling and grinding, just trying to get their foot in the door, to act like I didn't get a position because of who I knew. And that, when I hear, a Willow Smith or a Gerald Levert or, any of these people, even just people who come from privilege, I'm like, do you understand the benefits that you had coming from privilege? Well, me coming from privilege ain't got nothing to do with. Yes, it has something to do with it. Yes, it does. I'm not saying be ashamed of it, but to act like it's got nothing to do with nothing, come on. Of course it does. Of course it does. You can't, this person had to take out $200,000 in student loans and all of that kind of stuff to get to college and go to college and struggle and not eat and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you had a Mercedes and your college was paid for, and you had a house here and you had an off-campus apartment there, and your parents always make sure you have food to eat, and you never, but I had to go get a part-time job too. You didn't have to go get a part-time job. Your parents thought that was what was best to teach you some responsibility. That's different than many days I didn't have nothing to eat because I didn't have no money and I was working 2 full-time jobs. That's my story. When I went to college, at one point, I worked 2 full-time jobs and went to school. 2 full-time jobs and went to school. So for somebody to be like, well, I didn't get no benefit from growing up as a child of privilege. Like, stop it. You did. You had more time to concentrate on studies. You had more time to just enjoy yourself, time to relax. You didn't have the stresses of 2 full-time jobs and school and worrying about what you're going to eat and all of that kind of. You didn't have an old Chevette with a hole in the floor. You know what I'm saying? You had a Mercedes. So, yeah, no, I don't sit around and act like I didn't this or I didn't that. I got, in terms of radio, I got where I got initially because of who I knew. And then because of kind of what I knew and how I moved. That's it. Samuel says, you mean corporate? It was a vet. That's all that matter. That's really all that matter. It was a vet. What else? What is going on? We got Trump. His trial is going on. Does anybody think he's actually going to go to jail? Does anybody think that at any point that man going to jail? I don't think so. I don't think that man going to jail. And again, like I said this earlier, I think at best he should be found guilty of a misdemeanor. At best. Or I guess at worst. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got a few comments. I remember seeing an interview with Gwyneth Paltrow, and that heifer, she got to be a heifer, actually said she didn't benefit from nepotism, even though her daddy made Saint Elsewhere and her godfather is Steven Spielberg. Yeah, stuff like that. Come on. You're in the business. I mean, it's like Lamont saying, my daddy didn't have nothing to do with me getting in the junk business. It's Sanford and Son. You son, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Your daddy, Fred G. If it wasn't for Fred being in the junk business, you wouldn't have been in the junk business. Can you imagine Lamont? I made my own way in the junk business. No, you didn't. Your daddy hooked you up. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. Daryl says, I worked 2 jobs. One was part-time and my full-time was third shift. And I went to school and got a degree and I was 34 years old with a family. And yeah, and for somebody who lived a life of privilege, you know what I'm saying, never had to worry about nothing. And shout out to those parents who can provide that for their children. But you never had to worry about things financially and being safe and all of that kind of stuff. And you were guided because guidance is important. You were guided in the right direction. You were pushed towards greatness, not pulled towards mediocrity. So you got pushed towards greatness. You experienced, some great things. Like, with me, I tried to give my daughter opportunity to experience things that I never experienced. And right now, she tries to give that little baby experiences that she never experienced. So, you know what I'm saying? We trying to elevate. We both trying to elevate. And so, but for somebody who never had to experience any of that, to say, I worked just as hard as you. You might have worked just as hard, but you didn't have it as hard. And that's just a real thing. That's just a real thing. Let me see. Talking about Trump, probably won't get convicted either. Probably won't. He probably won't. And again, I'm not even sure that he should. I think he's a horrible human being, okay? I think he is a horrible human being. But I'm not sure that he should be convicted on anything in this particular case. And it might upset some people, but it's the way I see it. It's the way I see it. Let's see. Okay. Just a legit question. Why should that clown only get a misdemeanor when he committed felonies? When do black folk get that privilege? Well, I'm not sure that he did commit felonies. Just based on my and I'm not a lawyer. But based on my understanding of the way kind of things he allegedly, of course I wasn't there, allegedly he had sex with a porn star. Okay, cool. That's bad, but that ain't our business. That's not illegal. Allegedly, he paid this porn star. But he paid her to not tell that story. I don't think that's a felony. Now I get, he moved some business stuff around, and so he might have messed with some business documents and said that this money was for something that it wasn't. But that's the misdemeanor. That's the misdemeanor. It becomes a felony, and again, this is my understanding of it. The felony is because they're saying he was trying to influence an election. But, the truth of the matter is, well, yeah, he was trying to influence an election. You don't want no porn star running around talking about I had sex with him while his wife was pregnant or right after his wife had a baby and all of that kind of stuff while you out there campaigning. That's just reasonable to me. Like, to take that and turn it into a felony? I don't like that. I don't like that. Get him for the stuff that he did business-wise. But that's the misdemeanor. He tried to hide a payment to a porn star through his campaign finances. That's a serious felony offense. Remember John Edwards? I do remember that John Edwards was not found guilty. John Edwards was not found guilty. Again, I get it. I get it. I don't know the guy personally, but based on everything that I've seen, he seems like one of the worst human beings, maybe even ever. But the truth of the matter is, you got him on the misdemeanor. I think that basically he didn't already admitted that. But he says, look, I did because it becomes a matter of intent. It becomes a matter of intent. And I think it's perfectly reasonable because you're dealing with reasonable doubt. It's perfectly reasonable to believe that he did this basically so Melania wouldn't find out. Now, I mean, who among us, if your wife just had a baby or whatever, I don't know if she was pregnant or she just had a baby, but if your wife just had a baby or is pregnant and you bone a porn star, how many of y'all want your wife to find out? It's perfectly reasonable to say, hey, I did that. I wasn't trying to influence an election. I did it because I didn't want my wife to find out. So Shannon said he didn't care about Melania. I don't know that to be true. I don't know that to be true. Have you ever been married to a woman? Have you ever been married to a woman? If so, because I don't, your name is Shannon, and you look like a female in the little thing, but that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Women can marry women nowadays. If you ever been married to a woman and you cheated on her, last thing you want her to do, I don't care what you think about her, last thing you want is for her to find out. Look, if he get found guilty, I'm not mad. The case can be made, which is clearly being made, that this is a felony. If he gets found guilty of a misdemeanor, I'm not mad. Because the case can clearly be made like he was just trying to not let his wife find out. There's a case for that. Election interference? I don't know. I don't know about that. And look, I don't like the guy. So I'm not here. Is it capping? I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm old, and so some of this new terminology just don't, I ain't really picked it up yet. But I'm not capping for Donald Trump. Y'all, if you don't notice, I just try to be like an honest dude and look at things kind of as unbiased as I can, as fair as I can. I see you, twin. I'm gonna address that in a minute. Preston says, in my opinion, the Democrats are scared and trying to slow Trump's momentum. But I think his popularity is growing because of situations like money going overseas, immigrants getting resources, etc. I don't know about that, Preston. I think that's what a lot of people are trying to get you to believe. Strangely enough, a lot of black so-called not Republicans are trying to get you to believe all of that stuff. I don't know that the Democrats are scared. I think both sides are nervous because the polls are so close. So I think both sides are nervous. But I think the only people you really have to blame for this, or I guess I should say the main people, Donald Trump. Donald Trump had sex with a porn star and paid her off. The Democrats didn't make him do that. The Democrats didn't make him misrepresent where those finances came from. Democrats didn't do that. Shannon says testimony so far Trump never expressed any concerns about Melania finding out, but more concerned about the campaign. I don't think that's true. As a matter of fact, and again, I'm not in there and I haven't read any of the transcripts, but just going based on the reporting, Hope Hicks, and this has been reported, Hope Hicks said that one of his main concerns was making sure that Melania didn't find out. So I'm not sure where you got your report, but mainstream media has reported that Hope Hicks did indeed testify that he was concerned about Melania finding out. So I can't say that what you're saying is not true because I wasn't in the courtroom. But I can say that's not the reports that I've heard. Stepan says E-Man supports porn. Hey. I think anybody can do, I guess, whatever they want to do, but I don't really mess around with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. I don't watch that stuff. I don't know nothing about it. My understanding is that people have sex in those videos. It's my understanding, but I can't really say, definitively. I've heard that people have actual sex in those videos. I've heard that. Hold on. Twin said something. Twin said says, I see why I say he extra. Wonder why people after him. Who are people after? And who's extra? Got found guilty over a piece of that monkey. Okay, it can happen. It can happen. That's why he always in the basement. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Anthony says, funny how some people think others are scared of Fat Boy. He's talking about Trump when he says Fat Boy. Yeah, we scared of the guy they claim will save our country. Who wants that? Let me see. Ron says he didn't do that either. What did he not do? That's why the federal government didn't bring charges against him, but time will tell. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What are you saying that he didn't do? What are you saying that he didn't do? I don't know how Melania would think a man who cheated on his first wife with his second wife and his second wife with her would be faithful. Look, people think that. I've seen, this could go back to another story at the meatpacking plant, but there was these two people. They were both married, so they were, I guess, technically having an affair. They were having sex with each other. Everybody at the they basically at work, they acted like husband and wife. It was so disrespectful. But at one point, she thought the wife of somebody else who was having sex with somebody else's husband thought that this man was having sex with somebody else that wasn't his wife. And she was furious that he would cheat on her. And I remember saying to her, how could you possibly be mad that you're not the only other woman? I mean, you sharing, and he's sharing, but you mad because you think you sharing more. It's not like you don't get whatever time you want. Y'all here together, and then y'all go to the hotel and do what y'all do. But how you mad? Because you think you not the only other woman. So there are people out there who really get, she could think he not going to cheat on me. Or, you know what I'm saying? There are women who get upset about stuff that they shouldn't get upset about because they had a talk. Like, I thought we agreed that I would be the only person other than your wife that you was having sex with. How do you make a dishonorable agreement with a dishonorable person, and you're a dishonorable person, but you expect that to be honored? But they do. There are people who do that. So I think it's reasonable that she probably thought he won't cheat on me. Twins say, me and my ladies watch porn and make fleek. What is fleek? I don't know. It might sound like I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. And why are you and your women watching porn? Y'all can make porn. Y'all there together. Y'all can just do it. But again, I'm not into all of that stuff. That's something I'm not into. Ron is saying he didn't use campaign money to pay off Stormy Daniels or anything. Okay. Logic Slayer wants to know, ain't Melania in it for the money anyway? I don't know. I mean, again, and this is one thing that I even though I probably do it, I don't like that people think they know what's going on in other people's heads. I don't know. She might love that man. She might love that man to her core. Just because we believe that he's one of the worst human beings ever, there are some women who are attracted to power. Of course, wealth and men who are driven and all that. We don't know what's going on in her head or in her heart. We don't know. I don't know that it's fair to say that definitively. Side pieces are usually extremely stupid. I reject that. I know some lovely side pieces. They're not my side pieces. They are just generic side pieces. Meaning, what I'm saying, they typically date people who are already either married or in some sort of committed relationship. Oh, let me see. Hold on. There was another story. I don't want to talk about this all the time. Melania was a mail order centerfold looking for that bag. Again, did she say that? Did she say that? You just assuming stuff. I don't know any lovely side pieces. It's some look, and I think this is, I'm not, because this is a slightly different conversation. But there are women out here who who have come to the conclusion that they not gonna find a good man. They believe all the good men are taken. And, the other men either are no good or in jail or whatever. And they are okay with forming an emotional connection with somebody and getting to spend the time with that person that they want to spend with that person. And just understanding that I'm sharing this person. And it's not just women who do it. They understand that I'm sharing this person. And I'll be honest, I don't understand 100% what's wrong with that. If you are a consenting adult, I mean, what do they call it when you married to multiple people? Come on, y'all know what it is. It's a word. You married, you got multiple wives and all of that kind of stuff. Utah Mormons. Sorry, any Mormons in Utah watching this. I hate to kind of put y'all up. Polygamy, thank you. I had coronavirus. I can't think of the words. I'll know exactly what I want to say, but I can't think of the word. It's coronavirus. Polygamy, yeah. So polygamists exist. And if everybody is okay with it, what's wrong with it? And yes, initially, that second wife, like, what I'm saying, if I'm married to Mrs. Livingston, and if we decided to take on, what I'm saying, another wife for me, whoever the second wife is, she is a side piece initially. That's my woman on the side. She might grow to be a more significant side piece, but do that make her a horrible person? Don't make her stupid. It just mean, you know what I'm saying? She met the king and she decided she wanted to be down with the king. That's it. That's all it would mean. Because she's so stupid. No. She said, he got what I want. He got what I need. Don't make her stupid. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't do it. Mrs. Livingston is more than enough. So I wouldn't do it. But to say that the women who do it can't be lovely women, no. And the argument has been made. The argument has been made that more women need to do it. There's a lot of single women out here who need love. And if a man can give them that love and not take anything away from them, what's wrong with that? Why be so judgmental? Polygamy, when you think about it with an open mind, it's really beneficial, especially economically. Yeah. I said side pieces are usually done because they always think the married person is going to leave their spouse for them. That's not true. Again, some of these lovely side pieces that I know, if they left their committed relationship, she wouldn't even want him anymore. Because she getting what she wants. She get the time that she wants, she gets. When she don't want to have to deal with him, she can send him home. She get support and, of course, the D. She cool with that because that's what she wants, some emotional support. When she want to watch Netflix with her man, she can, send him a text or whatever. He come over, they sit, they watch Netflix. Maybe they go out, they chill out. He sling her some D, maybe give her a little money. She get to send him home, and then she get to chill. They don't always think the married person is going to leave their spouse. Sometimes they are more than, like, it's their goal. Like, I don't want him. No, stay with her. That's where you need to be. That's, it sounds crazy, but it's a real thing. I'm sure it's a side piece or two on here. You ain't got to bust yourself out. You ain't got to, I'm a side piece and I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do that. But some side pieces on here know I'm telling the truth. And some of y'all done been side pieces. And y'all know y'all didn't really want to be with that man like that. Y'all didn't really want to be with that man like that. Y'all wanted what y'all wanted. And then that way when you done with him, you can say, I want to go, you married. You married. Go home with your wife. What can I call you? No, don't ever call me again. I'm done. You married. Call your wife. But it's the truth. I agree with you, man. Sometimes they're just doing what they're doing until something worthwhile comes along. Yeah. Who a side piece up here? Raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. But look, some of y'all, y'all know I'm being honest. Some of y'all done been side pieces. You might not even known you was a side piece, but you probably know. But you can claim, well, I didn't know he was in a relationship. He just told me that he be busy and he work all the time. And then later on, I found out 2 years in that he was with somebody. And then so a year later, we broke up. Some of y'all done been intentional side pieces. Nobody wants to talk about that though. Because those are bad people. Those are bad people. LaDonna says, I was a side piece and didn't know it. Okay. Okay. You didn't know it. I have a hard time. Believing why because I love myself, Samuel. I love myself. So sometimes, and I look at myself on the screen and I'm just like, I need to hug me. But yeah, okay, you didn't know. I have a hard time believing, like you may not have known initially, but it'd be so many signs. It'd be so many signs. You was a side piece. You was a side piece. You figured it out, and then you just, I didn't know. How did you find out you was a side piece? You knew you was a side piece. The signs was there. The signs was there. Not you, LaDonna, necessarily. Even though I do still, and I like you, LaDonna, but I be having problems believing people when they say they was a side piece and they didn't know it. I have problems with that. Does college count? Yes, college counts. College count. The wife called playing on my phone. You knew before the wife called, though. You knew before the wife called. Like, y'all ashamed of it, but y'all really ashamed of it. Well, I mean, I'm a believer in, and this is what I tell my side piece friends. Like, if you gonna be a side piece, like, talk to him. Talk to him. And, because believe it or not, Oh, this is gonna sound crazy. Maybe I shouldn't even say that. I'm not even gonna say that. No, I got to say it because it's true. A lot of times, fellas, if you just be honest, and I don't even necessarily mean honorable, like, oh, I'm not gonna cheat, but if you just be honest, like, hey, I'm seeing this woman, whatever, some wives, up and leave or whatever. But some of them, they'll stick around. They'll stick around. Be honest about what you want. Be honest about what you want in a relationship, even when you're in the relationship. If I wanted to go get me a side piece, you know what I would do? I would tell Mrs. Livingston. We would sit down and have a talk. Baby, look, this is where I am right now. This is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking about doing. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because I'm telling you what I'm feeling right now. I'm not saying you got to go along with it, but I'm not going to sit around and hide what I think and what I feel and, play games and all of that kind of stuff. You ain't going to be caught off guard. I'm giving you the option. You can stay or you can leave. But we're going to talk about it. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling. And I'm saying this would happen before I got the side piece. I'm thinking I want to maybe see somebody else, like maybe even just invite somebody else into this. How you feel about that? Hell no, I ain't now. Okay, hold on. You don't have to get upset. No reason to be upset. We just having a conversation. I haven't invited nobody. I haven't picked nobody out. But I'm telling you how I feel. And what I'm saying, what if you want to go to counseling and maybe we can figure out why I'm feeling this way, or what I'm saying. But I would not lie. I wouldn't be sneaking around. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster. And y'all don't understand it. Now, Mrs. Livingston, on the other hand, I know she wouldn't go for it. Like, no ifs, no ands, no buts. I know she wouldn't go for it. But if it was how I felt, I would still talk to her. And y'all would be surprised at how many women out here be down with stuff that you don't think they'd be down with. And they'll tell you that they not down with it. And they will act like they not down with it. But secretly, they'll be down with it. And sometimes you just got to present this to them. And then you'll hear, because Scott, I think that was Scott, said, sound like you did this before. I did. Now, I wasn't married. But I did do this before. I was seeing a young lady, and she was one of those, oh, no, hell no, ain't gonna ever cheat on me. All of that nonsense. I sat her down and had a talk. And she was like, I thought about it before. I don't know. And I was like, what? You thought about it before. Ding, 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 winner. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know. I just knew I wasn't going to cheat. I wasn't going to sneak around and put multiple people in harm's way. That if you find out about her and then if she decided, I wasn't going to do all of that. I was just going to be honest, like straight up honest. Just for the record, it never worked out. It never worked out. It never happened. We ended up breaking up. Because she couldn't bring herself to follow through with what she actually wanted to do. Because we have all of these thoughts in our minds about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And, and even though, she said, it's something she's always thought about and something she's always wanted to do, but it don't seem right. So you dealing with decades of guilt and shame and all of that kind of stuff that's keeping you from exploring who you really are, your true sexuality and sensuality and all of that kind of stuff. And you missed a great opportunity. She did. But I was honest. I was honest with her. We still, I won't say we friends, because of course I don't talk to her. But we still cool to this day. Like if I were to see her out somewhere, I would be like, hey, how you doing? We probably hug real quick. It's nice to see you. How everything going with you? I wouldn't, only because it wouldn't be appropriate, but I would definitely want to say, did you ever explore that thing that you wanted to explore? Because in my mind, she probably, once she moved away, she decided, I can be real, I can be me. She always thought about being a side piece. What the hell? No, she didn't always think about being a side piece, but she always liked the idea of basically of a threesome with a man and, because she was a woman, so a man with another woman. She says she always thought about that. It was like a fantasy of hers, something she's always wanted to do, always wanted to try. And to have an additional person in a relationship, so it wasn't like a one-off. It was something that she was interested in and that she always wanted to explore, but she couldn't get past, I guess, her religious upbringing and, all of that kind of stuff. I'm telling y'all, fellas, be honest with women from the beginning. From the beginning. Now, look, when I met Mrs. Livingston, I was through with all of that. I didn't want to do all of that. I was fine. But if that was something that was still in the back of my head, one of the first conversations I would have had with Mrs. Livingston was, just so you know, I always wanted to be in a relationship with multiple women at the same time. I guess they call it a throuple now. I always wanted to be in a throuple. I would have told her that. So right out the gate, she'd have knew, okay, this is where his head is. Either I can put up with this or I'm out. Give people options. Give people options. Be honest. Honesty, I'm telling y'all, honesty is almost always the best policy, and it'll get you further. Maybe not. But a lot of times it'll get you further than deception. Or at least the outcome might be better. But all right. Some of the women thinking I'm crazy and whatever. But wouldn't you rather a dude be honest with you? Wouldn't you rather a dude say to you, like, look, I can't ever see myself being faithful to just one woman. That's not who I am. That's not how I'm wired. And then you get to say, well, then I don't want to be with you. Or you get to say, okay, I can accept that. That's honesty. Twin. Twin?
Hey, can you hear me, man?
I can hear you now.
So your ass got scared and stuff. She want to have a threesome and stuff. You got scared, huh?
What?
You want to have a threesome. You got scared, huh?
No, you misunderstood the story.
No, I did. I'm trying to add my 2 cents on it.
Oh, okay.
Got to be extra like you. You got scared, huh?
You need to work on that. Work on being a little extra.
Nah,
That wasn't good.
got scared and took off running. Took flight. Man.
No, definitely not.
What you always doing in that basement, too?
Doing my show or working out or screen printing or washing clothes.
Yeah. Act like you don't want, ain't nothing wrong with watching porn, man.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. Just because I don't do it don't mean that there's anything wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's about having fun.
Okay.
There's the other girl, whatever, down there with it. She down. Hey, we better make this slick. And after we done with our city to
What?
whatever, she a trip about it.
What?
Like, boy, you crazy. That's my first time ever doing it. I'm like,
Oh,
it's about
wait a
having
minute.
fun.
Hold on, twin. I'm barely understanding you. You sounding like Pootie Tang.
I
Can
had
you?
some over my mouth.
Yeah. Can you
I was
be
covering my
still?
mouth.
Because I can't understand what you're saying.
I said ain't nothing wrong having making a flick, looking and watching porn and everything. It's about having fun, man. I don't want to be in no boring ass relationship or wherever buzz down I mess with, be bored and stuff at my crib. Now we about to have some fun or something.
Well,
Climb the
hold
walls
on.
or
Just
do
for the record,
huh?
well, I think we have different definitions here as well. Uh, Watching a flick is different from making a flick. Making a flick, y'all recording yourselves. Watching
I
a
know that
flick is
we do both, man. Come
okay.
on, man. We do both. What are you talking about?
But you wasn't talking about that, and you were talking about watching it, and you ain't nothing wrong with making a flick. So, and look, and if that's what you want to do, that's on you. If she down with it and you down with it, go for it.
Part of life, man. Having fun. Want to be there sitting there bored or whatever.
Well, but what's fun to
Yes.
one person ain't necessarily like you can't be like, oh, if we ain't watching porn, then I'm not having fun. And anybody who ain't watching porn, they not having fun. Maybe watching
I
porn is not fun.
Man, I
to
tell
them.
a girl in the door, I keep it real, man. Just like you say, keep it real. I tell a female to me, yeah, I got a woman and stuff, and they say, well, at least you want. Well, okay, well, I'm gonna laugh up.
Do
Me
you
creeping around now,
hold on, wait,
creeping around there and getting
wait.
caught.
Do you
What?
tell your woman that you going out to get other girls?
You ain't supposed to tell this. What did you go tell her that
I
for?
thought, to be honest, you said you honest.
No, I
That's not
asked her.
honesty.
Listen, man. I asked her, hey, you saying so? You got somebody? Well, I got a little friend or whatever and stuff. And okay, don't worry about it. So she herself was, because I tell in the door, I tell a woman, hey, I'm a freak, and I got a lusting demon in me and stuff. Say, what you mean? I'm like, hey, God ain't delivered me yet. I like too many women and stuff, and I sometimes, I jump out the bag and shit, and start going off and start, having sex with different women. So then they get mad. Well, they can respect that. At least I tell them up front without sneaking.
All right, so
If
your
you would've
woman
listened-
knows this.
Yeah, she knows this, what I do.
Okay,
Hold
on. I asked you, do you tell your woman that, and you said no. Why would I tell her?
I don't do it now. I'm just saying back then I did. But she got an
Bro,
idea
you were
right
not
now.
speaking in the past tense. I know what speaking in the past tense sounds like.
No.
You were speaking in present tense.
She know now. She got an idea now. I don't, I tell her up front or whatever. Yeah, I got a lusting spirit and blah, blah, blah. Believe me, she don't. But she know how I am. She know when she first met me. So it is what it is.
You're sending mixed messages here.
Ain't no, just catch up, man.
No, you saying two different things. 1 minute you saying I'm straight up, I'm up front, and I tell her and she know, and then I say, what did you tell your woman? No, I ain't tell my woman. Why would I tell her that? So either your woman know that you might cheat on her, or she has no idea.
When I first met her, she know about it. She know about me way before I met her. I mean, females I used to mess with and everything good. He know about me, so ain't nothing new under the sun, but I wouldn't just bring it up, hey, I'm messing with such and such and all that, but I know she got an idea what I do.
That's not honesty, bro.
What is it, then?
That's deception. The idea that well, I mean, I didn't really tell her, but she kind of know who I am, so she got an idea of what I do. That's totally different than what you said initially. Was like, yeah, I just tell her like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go see somebody else, and you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. That those are not the same. And so the idea that, oh, she's got an idea of who I am, that means you're kind of leading her to believe that you are not seeing other women on the side when you really are, but you justifying it by saying, well, she know what kind of person I am. No, if you're gonna be honest with her, then you say to her like, look, baby, you know who I am. You know the kind of person I am. I told you about this lusting demon.
What part
Well,
you
that
didn't
lusting
catch,
demon is
man? I
about
just,
that lusting demon is taking me over, and I met this chick.
I'm just saying. I just told you what I do, man.
You told me
I just
three
told you what.
different things though.
No, man, you need to catch up what I said, man. When I meet a woman and start telling the truth about me, hey, I knew this, I do that, and everything else. But I was keeping it honest with them real, so they can't say, well, what's old girl in your face for? And you already know how I am. So what you gonna get mad for? We in the club. We go to the club together and everything, and you know how I get in. Why would you, catch feelings and stuff? But you know what I told you in the door. So that's being honest when I told her everything about it.
I don't think so.
So you ain't never experienced, so I couldn't even
No, I think
talk to you.
I
I
think you
forgot.
are being deceptive to your woman. You might not be being deceptive to the side pieces. They might know you got a main woman, but you're definitely
Man,
being deceptive to your woman.
no, I'm not. Not if I told her before we folks started. I'm not. It's hard to explain to you, man, because you don't know. You be trying to throw your little extra input on there and trying to change the whole answer around you talking about whatever. You're not gonna piss me off like you did wrong.
It's never my goal to make anybody upset ever.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying,
All the way at the end to the left.
you
Go
getting in trouble?
No, I ain't getting into it. He wants some sour cream.
Wait, you having this conversation on the floor at Kroger?
He knows.
Oh. I would say that you're not being dishonest if you tell your woman, like, I'm seeing other people.
You said what?
If you tell your woman, baby, I'm seeing other people, and not just, well, she know how I am. That's not honesty.
If you say so, man. I gotta get to work. These people looking.
I imagine you talking about side pieces and shit. Yeah, they looking. You talking about porno and making flicks and lustful demon inside of you right next to the sour cream. Yeah, they looking at you like, what the fuck happening in Kroger? What are they doing? I ain't gonna be boring. Hell no, I ain't gonna be boring. Shit. And I'm just sitting there waiting for some Philadelphia cream cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? All I asked for was some cream cheese. What you talking about? So yeah, get back to work. But no, that's not honesty. That's not honesty. And honesty is at least I value honesty. I value honesty. I think most women, most people value honesty. You been cussing a lot. You okay? Yeah, I'm cool. That's what he was saying. So I don't cuss. You know what I'm saying? But I had to say it because that was what he was saying. That's what he was saying. Oh, let's see. There was yeah, sex talk by the sour cream. Yeah. Bottom line, be honest. Be honest. Now you should be honorable. You should be honorable. Like I say, I'm married. I'm not gonna cheat. If I ever thought I was gonna cheat, I will have a conversation. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm going through. And let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. Let's work through this. Honesty goes a long way. All right. But that's that. I did have this video I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, I had this video that I want to show y'all. And I think this is a heroic video. Almost in the vein of yesterday's video at the church, but maybe ever so slightly, I don't want to, it's different. It's different. This happened in Madera, California. A Subway manager is recovering from injuries to her face after a customer decided to attack the employee for not putting enough meat on his sandwich. Hold on. Time out. I partially blame Subway for this. I haven't been to Subway in a while. But when I used to go to Subway, they don't put enough meat on them sandwiches. And it's not like the employee doesn't get to decide. Like it's pre-done. They take the little thing, it's already proportioned. And they take this big loaf of bread, cut a little thing in the middle and pull out the little bread. And then put this little bit of meat in there. And then they kill you with toppings. What else you want on it? So you got a sandwich this high, but it ain't got nothing but this much meat on it. They kill you with those toppings. It's that little lettuce. All this lettuce. It's like, come on. So I blame Subway for this partially. Partially. At the same time, people have to, you know what I'm saying, control their emotions. People have to control their emotions. Dante say, just ask for double meat. I shouldn't have to ask for double meat to get a decent amount of meat on a sandwich that I'm paying for. I shouldn't have to ask for double meat. But I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying Subway is partly at fault. So the Subway manager recovering injuries to her face after a customer decided to attack the employee for not putting enough meat on his sandwich. The manager who was hit in the face said the customer escalated the situation because he wanted more ham. This is not funny. This is not funny, but he wanted more ham. And who among us have never been in a situation where we wanted just a little bit more ham, and then somebody won't give you some ham? That is not funny. So the manager said customer escalated the situation because he wanted more ham. And she says, I did not expect this. He comes around the corner and I go, what are you going to do? Hit me over ham? This is not funny. But who asked that question? When you ask that question, you know it's about to go bad. You just be ready to protect yourself. This is not funny. This is not funny. I'm so sad about this. I'm so sad. So she says, quote, what are you gonna do? Hit me over ham? She says, and then he hit me. You put the idea in his head. Why would you put the idea in his head and not be prepared to duck? You know what I'm saying? Why would you say that? What you gonna do? Hit me over some ham? And then he hit me. Why would you ask that question? But she says, and then he hit me. He punched me. And all I remember is just black. That is terrible. She was called into work that day by her employees who said a man was mad because he didn't get double ham on his sandwich. Even though the store had proof, he only paid to have 6 extra slices of meat, not 12. See, this is what's wrong sometimes. Subway is partially responsible for this. Subway is partially responsible. Why are you counting slices of meat? Why are you counting slices of meat? I paid for 6 extra slices of meat. Across like a whole foot long? You only pay for 6, and they be I don't know how Subway do it now, but I know back in the day when I was going to Subway, the meat is sliced so thin you can see through it. 6 slices of paper thin meat is no meat. So he asked for double meat, Dante. He asked for double meat. But it was only 6 slices of extra meat, not 12. I'm reading this. I didn't really read the story all the way through because I didn't. And so I'm reading it, and as I read it, it's just sadder and sadder. It's just sadder and sadder. This is not funny. But why did she say this? Why did she say this? She said, I still can't feel half of my face. That is terrible. That is terrible. But why are people saying things like this in an interview? She says, I still can't feel half of my face. I can't feel nothing. That is terrible. That is terrible. That is not funny. It is not funny. She said, I'm scared that there's going to be some kind of permanent damage. I've never been so numb to where my face feels like it's a mask. Stop talking, lady. Stop. Stop talking. Madeira police officers said they arrested George Sandoval, the man who they say hit Larios that night for battery. Police said having a reaction like that is never okay. It is not okay. They said never. They went behind the counter, I believe, and punched the female manager. Larios says she never stood a chance. Why are they still writing the story? Why is this story not already over? We got the gist of the story. We don't need no more quotes. We don't need no more quotes. She says, I'm 4'11", and this guy was 6'5", almost 400 pounds. Said now she's scared to go back to work. She says, I did not deserve this at all, and she did not. I was just in there doing my job, and she was. She says, there was nothing wrong. The sandwich was made to our Subway standards. That's part of the problem. She says, I don't know. He didn't even give me a chance to try to figure out what he wanted. You clearly knew what he wanted. He wanted some more meat. What do you mean? He said he wanted some extra meat. You knew what he wanted. You just didn't want to give it to him. As you say, he didn't give me a chance to try to figure out what he wanted. But earlier in the story, you say, what you gonna do? Hit me over some ham? So you knew the man wanted some ham. He gave you plenty time to figure out what he wanted. You just decided you wasn't gonna give him what he wanted. And he was wrong. But don't try to act like you didn't know what he wanted. The manager, who is still out on leave, says she plans on pressing charges and potentially even suing the man for what he did. Subway will be providing workers' compensation for her while she's out. Oh, boy. She knew what he wanted. Stop acting like you didn't know. This is Subway's fault partially. Now, of course, it's mostly his fault. Mostly his fault. But hold on, Key. I see you there.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me do this. See if I can figure this out. Do this. And let's see if this thing will play. It might play a commercial instead. Look at that dude. That's a hero right there. He trying to sock dude and everything. They not helping him. They're not helping him. Helping. There you go. Oh, she pepper spraying him. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this big dude. And look at this. Hold on, let me pause this. This dude is way too big. Hold on, let me see if I can put myself up there on the screen, y'all. Sorry. All right. This dude is way too big to be socking this chick in the face. No matter how much ham he did or didn't get. He this is not funny. He is way too big to be socking a woman in the face. Okay? But is Shahira here? Is Shahara here? Because this is what a short man, this is how a short man get down. A short man see a woman in trouble. It ain't got to be his woman. A short man see a woman in trouble, and look at this dude. Look at this dude. Boom, I'm up on his back. I'm owning. Owning. I'm socking you. He ain't getting much, much happening. But look at, I'm socking you. And she coming out trying to video it with her phone. This is terrible. And now she pepper spraying him. But you see what you passing up, Shahara? You see what you passing up? Look at him. Look at him. He gonna help. He gonna help. See that, Shahara? Key!
Oh, Emanuel, shoot, you ain't got that much time. You about to get out of there.
I am about to get out of here.
Oh, man. Oh, you have my stomach hurting. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, you kept talking about something. You know what he wanted to him. Oh, man. Hey, man, you need to go do voiceovers for movies or something. You need to get into animation or something. Because between you doing them voices earlier, then you doing this skit now about the subway. Oh, my God, you got me in stitches. Oh, my goodness.
I just read the story.
Yeah, but it's the animation and then the voices. Whew. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, that was a big guy. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
He looked like he's about 8 foot.
He was,
what's
they say? He's 6'5".
Hey, Brenda Early.
6'5".
Hey, Anthony.
Almost 400 pounds.
I doubt 400. It looked like more than that. But like you said, that guy, he wasn't scared. He jumped on his back and was straddling. He was getting some licks in. Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, that's how short men get down, Shahara.
Man, I was like, he's doing it. Hey, my old shot. I was like, oh man, he tried to do one of your wrestling moves. You see how he put his legs around the waist?
He didn't know how to lock in that chokehold. If he'd have locked in a good chokehold, he'd have been all right.
Well, he was trying to get his legs around first, then he was trying to get the chokehold. Hey, Crystal. I was like, oh man. Yeah, it looked like he wanted more than a double. I think he probably wanted a triple.
Well, he wanted 12 extra pieces of meat, and they only gave him 6, apparently. Why are we counting slices of meat on the sandwich?
Oh, man, he was acting like a wild animal back there over a sandwich.
Yeah, he was totally out of line. No doubt about that. He's arrested, charged. He was totally out of line. Just get your money back and go somewhere where they give you more meat.
You know it's gonna be extra though.
He paid extra.
Did he pay extra?
Yeah.
Hey, Shahar. Oh, okay. And so he paid extra for double meat and he didn't get it? I'm confused.
Yeah, apparently she said he paid extra. Hold on. Go back up, back up. Even though the store had proof,
Crystal,
he only
okay.
paid to have an extra 6 slices of meat, not 12. And apparently he wanted 12 extra slices of meat.
Okay, so why he ain't just give her the rest of the money to get the 12?
Why should you have to? I mean, he should have just got his money back and left.
Well, he wanted 12 pieces, right? So
Uh,
it was extra.
I don't know. Go to
He only
Jimmy
paid for
John's,
6,
or,
so
you know
he
what I'm
gotta
saying? Something. You don't be
I know, but
socking
that's
women
how
in
it
the
go. I
face.
guess he should have went to Arby's. Ain't that where they said they got the meats?
They got the meats.
Well, that's what they say on the commercial. He should have went to Arby's. Maybe he would have got it.
And Arby's will give you a decent amount of meat. Like I get this roast turkey bacon ranch. That thing is delicious. And they give you plenty of meat in that sandwich.
Maybe maybe wasn't no Arby's around. You know, there's only a few of them. Maybe they ain't got no Arby's where he was from. But that was a big one, I tell you. Oh my goodness, linebacker.
He was a big dude.
Man, but that guy was working him. He jumped on his back and was punching him, uppercutting him. Then he wrapped them legs around him.
He's a
Yeah,
hero.
was doing it.
He is a hero.
Now,
Nobody.
did he work there?
He wasn't even. I don't know because he's not even mentioned in the story. And I think
Oh, man.
what he did was worthy of being mentioned in the story, like a bystander or a coworker or whatever, who was 1/4 of this guy's size, jumped in and saved his coworker or whatever from getting pummeled. Like a
'cause
line
he
in
would've-
there acknowledging his heroism.
Yeah, because he would have, they would have tried to, but he probably would have overpowered them. But that guy, sure, he wasn't messing around. He probably one of them MMA fighters or somebody.
I don't think he's an MMA fighter, but he was
He's somebody because he ain't waste no time.
He was gonna
jumped
get
on
his
that
meat.
guy
That's
back
for
and
sure.
was uppercut, body, uppercut.
He was gonna get his meat.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go because it's 5:04. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take care of your business. All right, everybody in the chat. I'll talk to y'all later. You have a good one, Emmanuel.
All right.
Be safe.
Thank you, Key. Yeah. He was gonna get the meat. He was gonna get that meat. And she gonna tell him, what you gonna do? Hit me over ham? He said, hell yeah. That's terrible. That is terrible. Look, if you ever in that situation, don't ask that question. Just, apologize, whatever. Try to de-escalate. I guess that was trying to de-escalate. Because you think when you say it out loud, then people will begin. This is the trap I fall into. You think when you say it out loud so that people can hear how irrational they sound, that it's something that's going to click. And he's going to be saying, am I about to punch this woman in the face over some ham? And you would think that the rational part of him as a human would say, is it really worth punching a bitch over some ham? It's not. Fame.
Hi, Emmanuel. How you doing?
Fame, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, me, same old, just mashing for my ration.
All right.
Yeah, that was weird hearing you trying to make jokes about.
I did not make any
dude
jokes.
Trying to talk about dude getting his meat. The joke was that he was a hero fighting over a sandwich.
Well, I didn't make any jokes.
You kept saying he gonna get his meat. You kept saying meat.
That's not
meat,
a joke.
meat.
That was his goal, was to get them extra 6 pieces of meat.
Yeah, well, you know what? I cynically agree with you. That is Subway's fault, partially, because I once I was in Atlantic City, as you know, Atlantic City, right down the street from Philadelphia. So we're up in Philadelphia. I go to one of the famous cheesesteak places.
All right.
To get a cheesesteak, and unlike Penn Station here, when you order a cheesesteak, they ain't out there measuring meat. They just dump it. and fry it, and then cook it and get it ready for you. And the next thing you know, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, when I seen them making that, I was like, yeah, they don't do that at the Penn Station back home. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get what you're saying about how Subway ain't letting you get full off a meal, off a sandwich.
They gonna fill you up with bread, that's for sure. But
exactly. And didn't was that twin last week talking about how he tricked every now and then?
I don't recall that. I don't recall.
You don't recall that? I believe he said that he tricked every now and then in one of his phone calls, like toward the end of the week. But it made me remember. You've got to remember this on the Buzz. It was back in the time where you and Ivy were like kind of back to back, or on there, or one of y'all was filling in for Lincoln or something like that. Some guy called in and somehow Trickett came up and he was like, yeah, I'll trick a little bit. He's like kind of carried the station for like the rest of the day. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
Oh, hell no. How could you forget that? Because you was the one giving your business about it. It's just like, yeah, I'll trick a little bit. Like that. It made me think of that when Twin said that. But the main reason I called is I would like for the black community to lift Dr. Ironetta Wright in prayer, because some jerk-offs are trying to embarrass this woman when she's actually trying to get things done. The Cincinnati Public Schools superintendent. She's not from the old guard. She's trying to get stuff done, make teachers and employees hold them accountable.
Okay.
Instead of hiding behind their tenure and their collective bargaining language. You know what I'm saying? And, that no confidence vote that they made is kind of a ploy that they're doing to humiliate this woman. And I don't think it's fair at all.
Okay.
You understand what I say? Yeah. So we got a good one here, and we need to find a way to keep her. And that's all I got to say about that. But yeah, I know you're at the end of the show, so I'll holler at you soon. Be well.
You do the same thing. All right. Y'all, I got to get out of here. I got to get over to the church by 5:30. So I got to get out of here now. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If there was a message to this show, treat people right. And, a lot of times you don't have to worry about people coming back at you if you don't attack people first. And when they ask you for some more meat, just give them a little more meat. I don't know. Treat people right, okay? That's the bottom line. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If you are out and about, be safe and be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time.